You've tuned into Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes. Your access to success strategies and more to help you move onward and upward with your life. Listen in each week as she interviews others who have really taken their essence to the next level and truly unpaused their life. Now here's your host, Dr. Cali Estes.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. This is Dr. Cali Estes, and I am founder of the Addictions Academy, the Addictions Coach, and Rehab Rescue. Welcome to Unpause Your Life. This is a great podcast where we showcase people who have done something extraordinary with their life. I welcome you, and I hope you enjoy all of our guests.
On my way, found a reason to wake up another day.
Before we get started, let's hear this short message from one of my supporters.
All the things that you won't do.
Did you know 81% of Americans would like to become a published author? Chances are you might be one of them. What's stopping you? Writing and publishing a book takes a lot of work and is expensive, right? Well, not anymore. For your next book project, or even your first, team up with Hassle-Free Books. They make it so easy to become an author. They remove all of the fuss and struggle and make it smooth and simple. And it's far more affordable than you could ever imagine. Go to hasslefreebooks.com and use promo code UNPAUSE to receive a 10% discount off of any book project. Get started right away and become a published author in as little as 45 days. For your free 1-hour book formula guide, which will show you just how painless it can be to become an author, head to hasslefreebooks.com today.
All right. Thanks again for joining me. Let's get started with today's show.
Took a walk down the dark road where they said that I shouldn't go. I knew the dangers of flying.
Good morning, and thank you for listening to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes, the Addictions Coach and the Addictions Academy. Very excited for my next two guests. I've got Eva Diamond and Kavvy Sonhos here with me today. And let me tell you about these two wonderful women. Eva Diamond is an addiction specialist, a success coach, nutritional psychology coach, pro athlete, author, and a speaker. She's got many years of pursuing higher levels of competition in her sport. She turned pro at age 47, and now 53, she models for her clients how to live with the radiance and power of authenticity in all of life's arenas. She's worked with the U.S. military and taught at the Yale University School of Medicine. She works with CEOs and college and professional athletes, and she has teamed up and collaborated with Kavvy Sonhos with the Revolution of Healing. Kavvy is a highly successful and accomplished fitness and fashion model. She is an IFBB Pro Figure competitor and has once again garnered international attention as an advocate for a healthy life. As a recovering anorexic, she has found new passion on sharing her struggles with a life-threatening eating disorder that helped pave her success. She's the founder of the Revolution of Healing. Welcome, Kavvy and Eva.
Hello.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
Cali, I'm so grateful that you invited us on. You and I have been connected for a bunch of years and intertwined on many events, and this is just wonderful. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm very pleased to have you guys, and I'm excited this morning. A little early for me. I'm usually the late person, so I'm here in rare form. Tell me what you guys are doing. What is this Revolution of Healing?
Well, I'm going to let Kavvy tell her story a little bit about why she is so compelled to provide this amazing service for people everywhere, and then get into kind of how we are bridging our expertise. Kavvy, you want to tell your story a little bit?
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for having me on here, and just anyone that we can touch with telling the truth and talking about our insecurities and our fears is just extremely important in my passion. So the introduction is kind of, ironic. It's true. And eating disorder actually paved my entire career into actually success. So with saying that, there's just so many different levels of how I want to help other people that do struggle with eating issues, that do struggle with what really the core is, which is overcoming your insecurities, becoming honest with yourself about what you're jealous of, who you want to be, what your fears are, and so forth. So what we've done is we've started this revolution. This is, you can go on the website. It's a free for the world. It's a community that we are building together of really talking about the truth about everything, and especially focusing on our nutrition, the nutrition psychology, how everything pretty much triggers on different emotions of things that you eat and so forth. And then also mental fitness. So having the focus on the inside feelings about, your insecurities and your anger and your struggle, and putting that into your fitness as the motivation.
Now, you said a key word there. You said mental fitness. Can you define what that means for our listeners?
Kavvy and I have two different ideas of what mental fitness is, and we are blending them together. So Kavvy, go ahead and tell her your concept, and then you'll see how we bridge the two.
Well, it was an aha moment a couple months ago when I realized that the awareness for myself that my food and motivation, I guess my hunger for training, has always been with my stress or my pain, my inner pain. I made a joke several years ago when I won my pro card. I said, yeah, that's how life kicked my butt so much, really, was I put it into my physique. So with saying that, I realized, wow, like the motivation needs to be becoming aware of, let's just say, your anger or your stress, and then physically taking it out, on different workouts in areas that you want to improve in your physique. So the motivation of your training is really, okay, I woke up, I'm a little depressed today, I'm a little anxious about this, and I'm really upset about my mom still. When I was 5 years old, she hurt me. Okay, so with that, the depression, you're going to focus on cardio and core, and you're going to feel so much better, not as depressed, and you achieve that goal. The anger, you're going to go lift heavy on areas that you want to grow, on your physique. And so instead of having a scale or a diet and, all this that doesn't work, it's temporary. You are in touch with your mental health, really, and using that pain or whatever struggle it is and having an outlet in fitness.
Okay, so you basically took the inner problems and put them on the outward side and said, let's turn this into a positive way to cope with all this stuff.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, and Callie, you're very well versed in how fitness helps to overcome various addictions and the underlying issues for addictions, right? I mean, this is not new to you. But what Kavvy just spelled out so well is a very concrete way to take your emotions and not get caught in them and release them through your physical fitness. So that works really well hand in hand with my focus on mental fitness, which is around really tapping into what I call core power. It's your internal resources. So at the same time that Kavvy's having people identify in the moment their feelings, they're also working with mental fitness on my end around reminding themselves of what their core power consists of, what their values, their intentions, their beliefs, and the emotions that can actually propel them forward instead of going backwards into those emotions, the ones that drain them. So the two-tiered approach of mind and body, it's a whole new mind and body than what we're used to.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions so our listeners understand exactly how this works. So a person comes to you, are they overweight or are they of normal weight?
So that's a great question.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because the root of this and really what the soul of the Revolution of Healing is the radio show that we'll be doing and the worksheets of talking about different issues, talking about addiction, talking about PTSD, talking about, all the everything, the traumas, to losing a child, to cancer, to, all these different topics that hit us daily, in our life. And so that's the people that we're going to have, and so when it comes to weight, that's just not a focus. We all have personal goals, whether you're underweight, overweight, a professional athlete, you still have goals. So you're going to just, instead of having the goals be the focus of like just in your mind, okay, I have to do this. This is what I have to do. We're going to talk about training your brain to be aware of, okay, I'm stressed out, so I want to go do this because I'm going to feel so much better.
Okay.
So, and Callie, you also know this, Callie, that the Don't Just Say No to Drugs campaign, how well did those work, right? And the same thing is happening with the obesity crisis. People going on diets and just say no to carbohydrates and all that kind of stuff isn't working. So what we're doing is taking the focus off of the body image, the weight loss or the weight gain or the muscle building or whatever, and turning it into a byproduct of actually getting to the underlying causes using fitness and nutrition. The result is that you have mental wellness and physical strength that's new. The byproduct is that you would lose the weight that helps you reach your goals, or you would gain the muscle that is part of your future plan.
Gotcha. So you're attacking the problem, which is really the underlying cause of why the behavior has manifest, as opposed to attacking what we call the solution, which is diet and exercise, which is awesome.
That's right.
I'm sick of putting Band-Aids on everything. Let's just deal with the real thing, and we're all insecure. We all have jealousies. We're all the same. And so, I'm willing to be vulnerable enough of, people see my images. I've been modeling for 15 years. I've done the fitness stuff. I've done the high fashion stuff. I've done all that. So people would look into my life and be like, oh, wait, there's no way she's depressed. And you know what? I was suicidal for many years. I was in a prison with anorexia for over 20 years. I had deep pain, and we all do. So I'm willing to be strong enough and vulnerable enough to be like, you know what? I was insecure whenever I overcame my insecurities. First of all, I had to admit to them. And then when I overcame them, I was like, that's where my happiness was. That for the first time.
So let me ask you this, since both of you were IFBB competitors, what is it like working in that world? Do you see a lot of body image issues? Do you see a lot of eating disorders? Because that's a tough sport to be in.
Right. So just to clarify, I'm actually a pro in what's called the natural federations, and Kavvy is the pro in the big leagues of the IFBB. So we actually tap into two different realms of the same arena, so to speak. And I actually built a lot of my mental fitness coaching strategies, Diamond Mind strategies, through extensive research and working with people in this sport, because you're absolutely right. People come to this sport with a lot of baggage. And they tend to, I actually use, when I work with people trying to overcome straight up addictions, I help them to transfer over their kind of addictive personality, I say, to focus on their fitness of choice and invest in that, because the outcome is far better, obviously, than a self-destructive drug. But yeah, this sport is riddled with people, kind of turning it for an external validation, and then they don't wind up getting it usually. So then they have post-traumatic stage disorder and all kinds of things that happen through this being judged process. Kavvy can she has very strong ideas about this as well.
Well, for me, the fitness world saved my life. So I look at it differently. I see not half, I don't know what the correct numbers were, but some that have overcome an eating disorder. Otherwise, you get an eating disorder. But I want to say, like, an eating disorder, I believe, there's a scale from 1 to 100. I was 100% have eating disorder. I think everybody has a number in there, everybody in society, because everything is revolved around food. We have so many chemicals in our food that you're just even a victim eating food, that you're having a disorder just because of the chemicals and what it's doing to your brain and that whole cycle. When we're sad, we eat. When we're, so I believe we all humans have some type of disorder with food. So I don't want to say in a negative light, like, oh, the fitness industry, like, we all have issues. I think we all have issues no matter what. It's just a place where people can have goals, and they think that once they get that trophy or that placement, they're going to be proud of themselves, and and then they're not dealing with those emotions once again. So I believe it can be a very healthy goal. It helped me heal my eating disorder because it was finally what I was looking for, of finding out what to eat, what works for me. And now I have the power and knowledge of having a physique like that whenever I want. I know what to do. It's my choice if I want to be that disciplined. So that's what I want to teach the world. I almost died with an eating disorder because I thought the lack of knowledge. I thought the more I run and the less I eat, I will get a six-pack. And I didn't know what to do. And everyone told me different things, and I didn't know, and it almost killed me. And so that's why this is so passionate for me, that I want a free service for everybody in the entire world to start learning about what works for you on your diet. We're going to keep it real. You get to keep and eat whatever you want, and then we'll learn how to take other things that you don't emotionally care about, and your physique will look better, and you will learn what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Are you seeing a difference between eating disorders and food addiction and then body image?
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. It's all the same, in one category.
And so here's where the nutritional psychology comes in, because our website is going to be a myth buster for a lot of people. We're going to be talking about fitness and nutrition in ways that may go against the grain for a lot of experts out there. And we're going to be using a lot of experts as well to provide added information from their areas. But nutritional psychology is not well known, and how to eat to manage stress, fatigue, depression, etc. Often people are misdiagnosed and put on antidepressants when they're really deficit in serotonin and other neurotransmitters. We're going to be teaching them in simplistic ways so they can get how to use their nutrition to complement if they are on medications, to support their medications, but also potentially to ward off the need for them. Also with fitness, how to use fitness. We all know that in eating disorder treatment, fitness is often limited. Now, it should be when people are vastly underweight until they reach a healthy place. But too often it's eliminated for longer than it needs to be. And our goal is to help people discover personal power, as Kavvy pointed out, through fitness.
I think you hit the nail on the head there with personal power. When you go into an eating disorder treatment center or rehab, or you work with an eating disorder clinician specifically, if you're anorexic, the first thing they tell you is stop exercising. And
that's right.
It's the complete opposite of what you should be doing, because you're not getting.
Absolutely, and they make
You're not getting the.
I you get it, Callie. I knew it.
You're not getting the healthy self-image. You're being told, you have to eat and you have to sit still until you gain weight, which is the complete opposite of the person's instinct. So you're taking somebody and saying, you can do this in a healthy manner, you can do this in a controlled manner, and it can be okay. Because the exercise is not what you need to restrict. We need to talk about why you're not eating and what's causing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this sounds.
And it's the same with the overeating. The same for the overeating, the compulsive eating. So, and I mean, I know most of the population is overweight. So to talk about underweight people, it's a smaller percentage, but it's the same. Why are people overeating? Why are you overeating? Your depression with it. You feeling like a failure when you are on this diet and you cheat on it and you're a failure, and then you eat more because you feel like the whole cycle of emotions just because of food,
Right. Even simple things like the way people self-medicate with carbohydrates, and carbohydrates are important to have in our diet, but they create a quick fix, and they actually do create a quick fix that feels better for depression, anxiety, irritability, stress, etc. It's a dramatic decrease when you eat carbohydrates, but then what people don't realize is what happens an hour or two later. And so we're going to educate people with how to get what they need when they're actually feeling the need from stress to self-medicate with food.
I've always been amazed with people with food. Food addiction is my primary, diet pills my secondary. So
right.
I've always been amazed when people say to me, I'm just going to grab McDonald's, and they don't understand the concept between what happens an hour and 1 to 2 hours later. And then they say, well,
right.
I had McDonald's, I took a nap, I wasn't productive. Boy, I'm just not motivated. And I'm saying, well, you were motivated, but the McDonald's made you not motivated. And they never seem to. But the food choice with the mood. And also, some of them get agitated and angry. I know with me, I can't have sugar. If I have sugar, I am irritable consistently until it comes out of my system, which is about 12 hours. So I think it's awesome that you guys are doing the work to educate people on how nutrition impacts your life and also how your life impacts what you're eating.
That's right. And this is why we want you to guest on our show, Callie.
Yeah. And you're aware. See, that's the thing. You're aware of what things do to your body. And that's what I want to help the world. It's not about, the Southeast diet and the no carbs. And, I don't want to even hear that vocabulary. It's about, first of all, being aware of what you're even eating. And then being aware of the food that you are attached to, and taking away other foods and seeing what it does and experimenting with your body and, and learning about yourself, learning that, okay, sugar, does this to me. But, people aren't even aware of what they eat. That's just even the first step is just becoming aware. And with doing that, they have to write down their foods, what time. We're going to get into specifics of condiments to how it was prepared to, what you have in your coffee. I mean, I want absolute specifics. So you realize you're aware, wow, okay, I put this milk in my coffee. I didn't realize that's 200 calories right there or whatever, not even being aware of that, let alone, your Starbucks coffee drink. Whenever I see someone drink that Starbucks shake, it looks like a shake. That's your whole day calories right there for breakfast.
Yeah, and in addition to the calories, so that's going to be the information shared. But complementing that is, and these are the calories, but also these are the impacts of the nutrients that you're ingesting on your moods and your cognitive functioning. So here you are. This is going to affect your body. This is going to affect your brain. And then on the other side of it, adding, the element of, you talked about, Callie, about motivation level and how foods or the way you eat can decrease your motivation to stay in the game with whatever your goals are. And so my work also helps people at this kind of third tier level to attach to their purpose, their why, with what they're doing with making their lifestyle changes, because we can't create lasting lifestyle change without feeling the benefits first, right as soon as possible, and having a healthy attachment to the purpose for making the lifestyle change. So those things go hand in hand, and then you get the lasting part.
So let me ask you this. When you get a client who says to you, Ava and Kavvy, I'm willing to do this program, and they get on your program and they're day 3, day 4, and they're starting to detox from all the crap they're eating, and they're cranky and they're irritable and they're ready to give in. I'm done. This isn't working. This is stupid. Why can't I have sugar? Why can't I eat like a normal person? How do you get them through that? Because inevitably that's what I see with my clients. It's day 3, day 4, they're done, they're over it because they're detoxing from all the nonsense, and they're starting to have to look inward to some of the trauma, and they don't want to do that.
Amy and I just talked about that yesterday, actually. So the motivation, everyone's going to have a different journey. Okay, so some are going to go full speed. Some people just need to hear it, digest it, want to deny it, whatever. My mission is, especially with the internet, I'm going to put the information out there. I want to motivate you, as much as possible. I can't be a cheerleader here, and try to, for each person. That's when you do hire a trainer and use that motivation if you need to be held accountable. But I'm going to put the information and the truth out there. And then hopefully, with our different shows that we do, our different challenges that we have, people get a little bit of motivation to get through that, having a community. I want to have a forum for a community for people that they can go and help each other. Like, I want to quit right now. And, and you have, a community right there to try to help pick you back up and so forth. So the motivation is going to be, we're going to have awesome topics and awesome stuff, events and seminars. And every week we're going to have a radio show starting in November, and to come back to that. And it's, like I said, it's a long journey. We're all in a different stage of different stuff.
So in terms of what I do now and what we can do through our online platform, when people get stuck in that point where, they feel like they're going to quit, this is where, we're going to have these worksheets that we give away every week that people get to work through, but they also will have access to email and the community forum, as Kavvy's pointing out, currently one of the thing that we have to do is not work on just removing the toxins from people's nutrition, but also adding. That's the key, is to add. Most of the time when people diet, the reason why they quit is because they're taking everything away. So this is going to be not just taking away, but adding foods and nutrients that support better mood and getting through this detox, per se, of what they're going through. So they're not just left, in an absence.
I think that's huge, because that's the problem with diets. I always say, why do you go on something that has the word die in it? Like, it's a lifestyle change, not a diet.
Yeah.
And then they say, I'm going to go on this diet on Monday. So they eat like crap on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, party, drink, do whatever. And Monday morning they sit there and they have a little cup of yogurt and a little banana and they're defeated before they even start. And by Wednesday, they're sneaking candy in the bathroom and cupcakes. And by Thursday, they've had pizza. And by Friday, they got a case of the Ep012 and they've had everything. And by Saturday, screw it, I'm just going to be fat and be okay with it. And
and they're depressed and suicidal and, and all that. So that's what I'm saying. I don't even like it doesn't matter what diet or what plan that anyone's ever heard. I want to take all that, that programming out of the brain. And as I said before, you're going to write down what you eat, for a couple days or a day, depends on how much discipline or, time you want to put into it. And you circle things that you cannot take away. For me, it's like, I like some carbs and some wine, some chocolate. I like a cupcake once in a while. I keep it real. You keep it real. I don't care what it is. You're not even going to be held. This is your own plan. You don't talk about it with anyone. This is your own honest plan. And you circle the foods that you want, what time of day you like to eat. And you're going to realize each person, has their own program, their own plan. And then with the foods that you don't really care about, you can take away. And that's how you're going to get progress. It's a lifestyle change. So keep it in. And then we'll have challenges of when you're ready, like a 3-day detox. That's like PhD level. We're starting with basic of just people even realizing what they eat. And then realizing the foods that they really, truly like, and just be on it, if that makes sense. So it's a whole different way of thinking. It's not a diet. It's changing your life and just being honest with yourself. Being honest with, I like pizza. And that's fine. Good. Then, you're going to eat it. Okay. We're going to learn how to lose calories in your diet in other ways. You can keep your pizza. All right. Forever. So you have that. You're free. You're free instead of that monkey on your back of, oh God, I can't eat this. And on Monday, and you're dreading it. You're dreading life. And I dreaded life every single day for many, many years. I woke up and I was so depressed. I couldn't eat my foods. I just wanted to sleep all day, and I was dreading life, and life is so precious. You need to love life. So take that dread away. Be honest. If you do like McDonald's, okay, well, we're going to start teaching, maybe we can take the bun away. Small goals. Eat half the French fries. Just small baby steps. And then for the people that are advanced, oh, I got that down too. No problem. We'll get some hard challenges in there, for the ones that want to be challenged.
Okay.
But, this is about cultivating both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation to get a little bit fancier and not to overwhelm. But, we have to have the motivation inside of ourselves, which is where a lot of the mental fitness comes in. Because again, going back to creating your personal mission with what you're doing and attaching to that. But then there's also going to be extrinsic motivation, which is what Kavvy and I will set up on the site for constant reinforcement of what people are doing.
So it sounds like you guys have a full program there. It sounds great. How can the listeners reach you? How can they find you? And how can they get involved in what you're doing?
Well, go to the website. It's www.therevolutionofhealing.com. And when you hit subscribe, like I said, it's free. That way you're on the list. And when our show comes out November 11th, that'll be the first one, we send a mass message to everyone that subscribed, a downloadable worksheet. And you are in the community. And that's how easy it is. And in the future, I'll be doing videos of my training. So you'll be able to go on and say, okay, I want to gain muscle in my legs, and I have the different training. So I'll put that all out there. Like I said, this is all for free. I want to teach the world proper training, explaining exercises, explaining in detail so you can be your own trainer. So anyway, so that's how you can reach it. www.therevolutionofhealing.com. Subscribe, and then you're in the community. So.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And is there a phone number to reach you guys, or do you guys have a Facebook or a LinkedIn or a Twitter or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm huge on LinkedIn. It's Kavvy Sonhos. Yeah. And then we also have a Revolution of Healing LinkedIn page as well. And I am on Facebook and Twitter if you want to find me. But I do most of my work on LinkedIn. So Kavvy, Kavvy, Sonhos, Sonhos. And I would love to connect with everybody.
Yes, and the same here. LinkedIn is my go-to. So Ava Diamond, and you'll see a lot of our overlap there.
Well, sounds great, guys. I want to thank you both for coming on the show for Unpause Your Life. It sounds like you're doing some great work, and I appreciate it. And I'm sure our listeners will be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look forward to having you on our show.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
For listening to Unpause Your Life with Dr. Cali Estes.
Hey everyone, thanks again for listening. I really hope you enjoyed the show today. Head on over to iTunes and Apple Podcasts and leave a comment or review of what you think. Or contact us at 1-800-706-0318. If you want to be on our show, feel free to email or call. And if you have a topic, feel free to email or call as well.
Thanks for listening to Unpause Your Life. For show notes and more, head on over to unpauseyourlife.com.
Big shout out to recoveryinnovators.com for help producing this show. Thank you guys.
I took a walk down the long road where they said that I shouldn't go. On my way found a reason to wake up another day. But they needed to show you all the things that you won't do. Find faith or religion, but nothing to show for it. No need to escape in love with my pain. I may be weak, but I'm alive, still alive, and I won't be bound by your mistake. No, I won't be your enemy, trapped at the gate. Bring me to life, put me to death. Just give me something that's just not so hard to believe. To believe. To believe. I took a walk down the dark road where they said that I shouldn't go. I knew the dangers of flying. Now I'm so far from solid ground. But they needed to show you all the things that you won't do. Find faith or religion, but nothing to show for it. No need to escape in love with my pain. I may be weak, but I'm alive, still alive, and I won't be bound by your mistake. No, I won't be your enemy, trapped at the gate. Bring me to life, put me to death. Just give me something that's just not so hard to believe. To believe. To believe.